Valley Club, I finally figured it out. It took a while, but our unkillable budget team for a clan boss is finally working properly. I'm going to show you some of the issues that we had, some very simple, some still trying to figure out some details for some of the damage, but yeah, our unkillable section is working properly. And if you were to see what I was doing wrong to hopefully help your team, you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin raid channel. I am ValleyFlyin. Hope you're having a great day. Yes, our unkillable team is set for a clan boss. Our budget unkillable team. No legendaries on this team at all. Still having some trouble getting that HP burn to sync guaranteed, but I think I have the problem diagnosed. I'm going to show you what we were doing wrong and some of the solutions for it. Also some problems if your clan boss team was working and then it suddenly desynced. We're going to talk about that as well. And if you get some value from the video today, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you know as soon as a brand new video goes up. At least 6 pieces of raid challenges is counted every single week on this channel. Before we get into the simple mistake that I was making my clan boss team, I do want to remind you guys, if you want to start off a brand new account, start off a second account, get your friends into Raid Shadow Legends and want to get them the best start in the game, have them use that QR code or the link in the description, because if you do or they do, you're going to get off to one of the best starts, getting 3 legendary characters, 3 epic characters, starting with this guy, Karato Fox Hunter. Also, within your first 24 hours, enter one of these codes to get another free legendary champ. I use the code Monkey King to get Sun Wukong, but the code Demon Slayer is a great one for Tholan Foulbeard. Desert Queen for Tuhana Rack is also a great one. And then you're also going to get 3 epic champs for free. Great damage lead for the clan boss and Fayne at level 30. And then if you hurry, you could get another legendary for free. There's a login calendar, which after 7 days, you also get Lemonisi, the gold wing. It does go away in a week, so I think you have to start your account today if you want to get this Lemonisi, the gold wing for free. Well, let's go to Deadwood Jedi to talk about some of the basics of this budget unkillable team, which I was running, had it running for couple weeks now, and it was working, but like I said, it was not consistent because I made some very simple mistakes. So this team is based around 2 characters, pretty easy to get relatively. They are void characters, so not the easiest to get, but Man-Eater is a epic, Painkeeper is a rare, so and the rest of these characters, I don't have any legendary characters as the DPS or the stun target. So simple thing for all of these unkillable teams is to get the speeds tuned. So Man-Eater for our team, we want him between 256 and 257. I think we have him at 256. Painkeeper 222 to 226. And then our DPS, we have 2 of them. Actually, we have 3 of them because we have 3 different teams. We have Geomancer is one of our DPS, and the other DPS depends on the day. Orn is on 2 of the DPS days, and then we have Taragi in this DPS spot for another one of the days, which I do want to replace because while I built him for the clan boss, is he tuned for the clan boss? Building him like that, we had to reduce his health, reduce some of increase his defense. His damage is based on his health, so yeah, I do want to get somebody in there for that spot. I think we're going to use Scabrius. He's a poison damage dealer and probably the best character on our roster that we could use for the damage spot. And then stun target, we have 2 of them depending on the day. Kale is for our magic and I believe force days, and then we have Eris for the other days. So we have a couple different stun targets. Now what we want to do, we were opening with this skill set for Ultra Nightmare. Man-Eater opens with his A3 and then just goes on auto, and then Painkeeper A1, A2, A1, and then auto. And like I said, sometimes it was working, sometimes it was not. The easy part was getting the speeds tuned. It's pretty just simple to do the speeds, but I was screwing up on the masteries. I thought I had my masteries all set up. The gear, our gear was good, but there are some gear mistakes that you might want to avoid that we're going to talk about here as well. And blessings, we have our blessings set, but we don't have any legendary characters, so we don't have any Brimstone in our clan boss team right now. So let's jump back into the game. I'll show you the teams that I was using. I actually have 3 for Ultra Nightmare and then 1 for Nightmare. Now this is not an unkillable team. When I was running my unkillable team, the damage just wasn't getting up there to get you the 1 key for that. So just throwing this on a quick battle because this can 2-key the Nightmare with this setup right now, and eventually we'll get something better and hopefully 1-key that Nightmare. But for unkillable teams, that's what we were using on the Ultra Nightmare level. This is what we were using for Spirit. So we have Eris as a stun target here. We have obviously Painkeeper, Man-Eater, and Geomancer and all the teams, and Ornn is the second damage dealer for this team. Down here we have Force. We have Kale as a stun target here, and obviously with the Painkeeper, Man-Eater, Geomancer, Ornn also the second damage dealer. And then for this one also Kale as a stun target. Normal characters here, but instead of Ornn as our damage dealer, we have Taragi as our second damage dealer. Now if we go into the setup for this team, changed up a few things. Eris, we do want to disable this A2 because she can place a speed, 60% chance of placing an increased speed on all allies for 2 turns, and we want our speeds very exact. This would screw up our team setup, so disable this. Everything else is fine here, but what we did was Geomancer wanted to get a little extra damage. What we were doing, we had this A2 under there, which is fine, but what this can do is removes all buffs from the enemy target, then attacks them. The Demon Lord does have a increased offense, and if we look at what the Reflect does on the passive, well, that kind of reduces the damage that the Demon Lord is doing to us, which means that it's reducing the damage that we're reflecting back on the Demon Lord. So we disabled this, and now we just have to worry about the A1, making sure that is in sync, and then making sure that we get the HP burn on the clan boss at the right time. And if we look at what the clan boss is doing, he has 3 moves, starting off with an AoE, which has that increased attack buff, which we don't want to remove with Geomancer anymore because we want to reflect that damage back to the clan boss. He's going to do another AoE attack here, and then we are going to do a single target, or then he's going to do a single target attack, and we want him always attacking the stun target. Where was screwing up was sometimes the stun target was a little weird because the turn order was off. So normally what we want to happen right before the 3rd turn, when the clan boss does this single target attack, we want our Painkeeper to do the A2, which is a heal. If we look at what Painkeeper's A2 is, go back to this team setup here. The A2 for Painkeeper does this nice heal. Heals all ally by 15% of this champion's max health, which is why we want to make sure that the health of these characters is proper so that the clan boss selects the correct stun target. Like I said in previous videos when I was working this speed's very easy to tune, but getting the clan boss to select the correct stun target was where I was having problems, and we got a lot more consistent by switching up these things. Now, what was happening, we were getting this, if we go back to this guide, what was happening, we were getting that heal all over the place because we had the wrong mastery. We're getting these cooldowns reset at the wrong times, and the heal was coming at the wrong time. So the clan boss kept selecting different stun targets. Sometimes it would be Man-Eater because we wasn't getting the heal. Sometimes it would be Geomancer, and it was just wrong. So what we did was make sure that we had the correct masteries on Painkeeper. I'm going to show you why I made the mistake, and hopefully you don't make it as well. But we also needed to make sure that Geomancer was a little more consistent. If we go back to that boss guide for the clan boss, what we want to do is what I'm doing is A1, and that gets to the 3rd turn of the clan boss. Then he stuns the target, and then what we want to do is have that HP burn of Geomancer go off right there. So right after clan boss does this 3rd turn, that is when we want the HP burn to go off on the clan boss, because that means that he's going to reflect the damage for 2 AoE attacks instead of 1 AoE attack and then 1 single target attack. So that was getting off as well. So we looked at the masteries of Geomancer, and he had a bad mastery as well, which was resetting his cooldowns, which was making the HP burn go off the wrong time. So those 2 problems we had. We had the HP burn going off the wrong time, and we had the heal going off the wrong time because the Painkeeper masteries was off, and we're getting the wrong stun target. So I'll show you what we did to fix that in our masteries. So with Painkeeper, we had this one checked off, which is a very bad one, Cycle of Magic. And I guess the reason I was looking at this, that this one doesn't do anything. It shouldn't do anything in the clan boss. The increased damage by 5% for each dead ally stacks up to 10%. Well, you shouldn't have any dead allies because if you time the unkillable buff right for a man-eater, you shouldn't have anybody dead. So yeah, this is a bad one as well. This is the one we actually had checked on Geomancer. And I think I just went ahead and copied what was on hellhades.com. If we go to hellhades.com for Geomancer and clan boss, it has cycle of magic checked here, so don't just blindly follow this. This would be fine for any clan boss team for Geomancer, but not an unkillable team where you want the speeds to be exactly where you want, and these cooldowns to be exact where you want as well, because the tune of the team. So this is what we had on her, and then we moved it to this one. Cycle of magic kind of does the same thing that cycle of violence does, is the 5% chance of decreasing a random cooldown and a skill. So as far as your offense trees, what can screw up your turn order is this one, the cycle of violence here, which we talked about. In your defensive tree, there's a few that you want to avoid. We have the cycle of revenge. Pretty much all these cycle ones you want to avoid on your main crews. So you can't have it on some of your DPS characters, but you don't want it on your man-eater, you don't want it on your painkeeper, and if you want your Geomancer's HP burn to sync right, you don't want any cycles on him either. So cycle of revenge, avoid. Cycle of magic, avoid. And cycle of violence, avoid for all of those three characters. Now, depending on your DPS, you might want to also watch a lot of these, because that could throw off the speed of your characters. Some of the characters, it's fine if their cooldowns get reset, but you definitely don't want the speeds to be off of any of these characters. So a few things that possibly could throw you off in this defensive tree. Rejuvenation seems fine. This team, we don't have any shield buffs, so we don't have anything to worry about. But if this one, you're getting a little extra healing, it may throw off the stun target that the clan boss chooses. The same goes for Bulwark here. You're probably not going to have Bulwark because you want to have either War Master or Giant Slayer, depending on the A1 of your DPS character. The single target attack, you want War Master. If it's a multi-target attack, you want Giant Slayer. So you shouldn't be having Bulwark on this anyway, but that could screw up because of some of the healing if you do that on accident. Now in the support tree, there's a lot that can screw up. So let me just call them out here and see if we can find them. Rapid response, here's the first one. 30% chance of increasing turn meter. This is a very, very bad one. You don't want the turn meter to be screwed up on any of your characters, so this should be on none of your characters. Next one is Arcane Clarity. Let's see if we can find that one. Here it is. 30% chance of increased turn meter by 10% when a debuff is removed or expired. That is a bad one. Cycle of Magic we talked about right here. Do not do that one. That could throw off a few. Actually, like I said, it just for Painkeeper, Man-Eater, and then Geomancer if you're trying to sync that HP burn. This one might. Lore of Steel. This one could be bad if you set this up after you've already geared your character. So you're getting more base stats. If you have your speed set and then you put in Lore of Steel, that could change the speed. So this one, you should be fine if you're setting their masteries before you're gearing your characters. But if you set your gear, then come back and do your masteries, this one could screw it up. So be careful of Lore of Steel. Timely Intervention. Increases the champion's tournament by 20% whenever an ally hero drops below 25% health. This one could be bad. Of course, this is on that last track here, so you should be having War Master or Giant Slayer for most of your characters that are going to the clan boss anyway. So this one should be avoided for a couple different reasons. And then lasting gifts, 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion by 1 turn. This could screw up some clan boss teams as well, especially if you're really trying to time the duration of your unkillable buffs and things like that. So this one, avoid this one because it could screw up the buffs and then screw up the timing of your team. We didn't have a crazy gear set on Painkeeper, so this wasn't a problem that we're having, but sometimes you could have a set here that could have Painkeeper counterattacking. You do want to watch that if you do have a character that has an A1 like Painkeeper does that fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. Again, these speeds are very exact on this unkillable clan boss team, so any little deviation would screw up this entire team. So watch any counterattack or any counterattack gear or counterattack masteries for that matter for any champions that has an A1 skill that changes their turn meter. You don't want any deviation from the turn meter. If your clan boss team is working and it suddenly stops working, a couple things that you want to look at. Make sure that you have your area bonuses for arena. Make sure it didn't change. If you go up a tier or down a tier, then your HP, attack, and defense does change, so that could screw up the makeup of your team. It should go up across the board, but pay attention to this, especially if you're like, hey, where did my damage go? Look at your masteries for this, and then also in your not your Great Hall, the live arena, this one, this version of the Great Hall, your area bonuses. Make sure when you're doing any upgrades, the clan boss, the Demon Lord clan boss, if you change up this speed, you're gonna have to change up your entire gear of your character. So watch the things that you do here. And I think health should it's kind of like the bonuses for the arena. I think if you put the health up, it should go up across the board. But yeah, watch these. If your team was working, doesn't work, look at some of these things. Also, the other thing that you might want to look at, if something was working and suddenly stops working, your faction guardians. Watch the speed, the defense, the accuracy, all this attack. The HP could screw something up as well. So those are some other areas that you might want to look at. If your team was working, then stopped working. All right, guys, but let's jump into the clan boss battle. Today it is Spirit Affinity. So our spirit team that we're going to use is this one right here. We have Eris as our stun target, Man-Eater, and Painkeeper, obviously, for the unkillable team. Geomancer is our damage dealer. Mycelic Priest Ornn is our second damage dealer. We have their speeds all correct. Now, what I am going to do with Geomancer, try to get his HP burn synced. I'm still having a little issues getting this to sync, but what we've done to try to make it a little more reliable, turning off the A2, what this is going to do is it is going to stop him from stealing the buffs from the clan boss, that upping the damage buff that he's going to get, because we want to reflect that damage back with the HP burn and the passive of Geomancer. So we have the A2 of Eris turned off. Everything else is pretty much default except for Geomancer. Mycelic Priest Ornn is running at default as well. So let's go. Let's turn this off of auto and let's get this to sync. The unkillable should sync properly, but let's make sure that the HP burn is still syncing properly from Geomancer. One quick note, while we're doing some of these runs, the spirit was not as consistent as the force days or the magic days. But what I noticed when I went in here, looked at Geomancer's skill, had a quicksand grasp as the #1 priority. We switched it back to the default and still have this A2 disabled. Got a little bit more consistency with this run. So let's go in and see what happens. All right, here we go. We're going to go open A3 with Man-Eater. Then we're going to go A1 with Painkeeper. We're going to go A1, A2, then back to A1 with Painkeeper. All right, so we do the counterattack. We're going to go A1 with Geomancer. We're going to open with A1, A1. That's synced on Force Day. However, this is Spirit Day, and things just seem a little weird on Spirit Day. So we're going to go with getting some poisons on there, some poison sensitivity. Getting no poisons from Eris there. We're getting A2 with Man-Eater. We're going to go A2 with Painkeeper. And then we're going to go just default skills from everyone else except for Geomancer. We're going to go A1 again to try to get this to sync properly. We're going to go activate some of these poisons there, do some damage to the clan boss, and A1 with Man-Eater, A1 with Painkeeper, and then we're going to throw this on auto. The unkillable should be set right now, but let's watch to make sure that Geomancer is doing his burn properly. We'll do it properly on the first turn. We want it doing right after the clan boss chooses his stun target, and we're going to watch a few turns here. So there is the damage reflected back. The HP burn is going properly. We got some counterattacks there, more poisons, and another big AoE attack, and there's the heal from Painkeeper. That is exactly what we want. And now we have the stun target coming up from the clan boss. Boom, right in the middle for Eris. That is what we want again. Then we want Geomancer with his A3, with the burn. It is perfectly in sync so far. Let's keep watching a few more turns here. Right after turn 9, I think if it's synced properly, we're just going to go all the way till the end and make sure that it is syncing properly. I think maybe what I did was take the priority off of the A3, which is why things weren't going well. And then now we're gonna, yeah, so that is perfect. As far as that, choosing that to the default skill for some reason is making this work good right now. There's a stun target and Geomancer HP burn. Let's watch this one more time. There it goes. All right, so it looks like in sync. If there's some problems, we will come back, but if not, we're gonna go all the way to the end. Turn 50 is when the clan boss is gonna, where's that passive? They're tented, the 50th turn, ignoring block damage and unkillable buffs. So that is when the unkillable should fall off and the clan boss is just gonna kill us there. So I guess we'll watch one more turn here. We got the next stun target and it looks like everyone is healing up properly. There's that heal up from that life drinker and then stun target right there on Eris. So it works again. HP burn from Geomancer. There it goes. All right. So it looks like it's working properly. It looks like the problem that we were running into earlier was having that the priority on the A3. All right, so desynced here. So what we did was turn it off of auto. We're gonna turn it off of auto one more time. There's the second one. We gotta turn this off of auto. It is still synced as far as the unkillable. We are going to do the A2. That should heal up. Now we're gonna save the A3. We're gonna not get the damage reflect from this next AoE coming up, but we will get it after the clan boss does this sync on Painkeeper. So we've done 2 A2s now. It should be back in sync with the HP burn. Not sure why it is still weird with the HP burn not syncing, but yeah, there is the stun target. So it looks like the unkillable is still going properly and the HP burn is back to sync here. So as long as Man-Eater does his move, yep, we have our unkillables and we should be back in sync. There we go. So it looks like we're back in sync with the HP burn. All right, so we are nearing the end of the run. We're almost at turn 50. The unkillable will fall off or will be ignored by the clan boss. Very next turn, we've gotten a good damage target. However, after watching this, I think I found out what the problem with the Geomancer inconsistency is. And I think it goes back to one of his Masteries. So they're turn 50, 45 million damage. That is a good target. Let's go back and talk about what I think was going wrong with this. And after looking at the run, I think what the problem is for the HP burn not syncing up is Geomancer's Masteries. We did switch up this cycle of, there it is, cycle of violence there, decreasing a cooldown, but we have this counterattack still going on, which normally would be fine, but I think what that also does is it switches up the cooldowns for Geomancer as well. So looking at the other options, I don't know if I want to spend 150 gems to switch it at this time. It may screw up what he's doing in some of the other uses for Geomancer because they use him for other bosses as well. But this skill, Cycle of Revenge, definitely don't want that for a clan boss. We don't want to screw up his turn meter. The damage that he gets, this one would be fine for a clan boss. I'm worried about spending the 150 gems, putting this on, and potentially killing Geomancer in other game modes, though. The damage received in the first enemy hit in each round by 20%. For the clan boss, this should be fine. I am worried that this may screw up some other uses of Geomancer, and I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to spend the 150 gems. This would be fine, shield on this champion for one turn, but I don't know if we could go all offense and no defense for this third tier. So I think I'm going to keep it right now. We'll have to watch to make sure that the HP burn sinks, but I think that's what the problem is with Geomancer right now. The unkillable is working fine though, so hopefully what you've seen in this video and the problems that I'm having with the HP burn sinking and stuff, hopefully it helps you determine what you want to do with your team and hopes clear up some problems that you may have been running into with this unkillable team. If you did get some value from this video, leave it a like, check out some of the other videos on the channel, and of course, if you want to start a brand new copy of Raid, use the QR code up there to get off to one of the best starts in Raid Challenges. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out!